Okay, fine. Beautiful, beautiful. So what I will do, I will take the presentation privilege just for once from you, just to present you before the audience. And once again, after that, I will give you back the presentation privilege. Okay, is
Oh,
it okay? Okay.
yeah, that,
Shomnath, is it full screen now? Because I've got a duplicating screen. So sometimes what I see. Shomnath? Excuse me. So let us start now. A very warm welcome back to the session 2 of day 4 of the 5-day FDP on census technology organized by the University of Burdwan under AICTE Otto Academy. Okay, so let me have the pleasure and honor of presenting Mr. Hemant Kumar HT before our audience. Mr. Hemant is BE Telecommunication from SSIT Tumkur in 2014. He is currently the Director Business Development of V3 Novus Private Limited, Bangalore, and Director Business Development, Ocean Robotics Private Limited. He started his career in the year 2014 in Omniscient Electronics Private Limited, then was promoted to Field Application Engineer, to Product Manager, ultimately for semiconductor products, and finally Business Development Manager 2018 for the whole of the country. After that, he started V3 Novus Private Limited in 2010. The business model was on both distribution and design services with primary focus on industrial automation applications. Later, after 3 years in 2013, they diverted their focus to develop the new products for the Indian and overseas military applications. Very interesting. Currently, they have associated with more than 4 PSUs and DRDO labs to cater their design needs and also on customer product requirements for military market. Under Make in India program, they have developed many substitute for the imported items, wherein customers were facing huge price, long lead time, and after-sale support problems. That's very encouraging for all of us here. Now, Vitrinovus is one of the growing MSME company with headquartered in Bangalore. They have a team size of 27 people with in-house PCB design, hardware design, firmware design, application development team to cater customers' need as a one-stop solution for their design and product needs. They're also exploring possibility to work together with research institutes to develop many more products for the Indian market. So with that, I welcome Mr. Hemant HT. Sorry, there is a problem. Okay, just a moment. I've got a network issue. With that, I welcome Hemant into this session. And thank you very much for coming to us, for
yeah.
giving us your time, your effort. And I think most of the people here are from academia or research. Most of the people, hardly, I think 1 or 2 people are there from industry itself. So it's a completely new, rather, I would say, experience for us people who work in a different environment of education or research. or sort of as a whole academics or from the research laboratories. It's a completely new environment which sometimes, at least I fail to exact. So I think it will be a new experience for us. And thank you once again on behalf of the organizers and on behalf of the all the participants here. The floor is yours. You just start your excuse me, your presentation. I'm having some network issue. Just let me check. Somnath, you please update me whether it is going fine, because here in my case, my Google Chrome is hung, so I cannot see anything. Somnath, can you change?
Yes, sir, I have changed.
Okay.
Now Hemant Kumar HD sir is present.
Hemant, you just start presenting. I think sometime back I'll be able to come.
Yeah. So you're able to see my screen?
Yes,
Somnath?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much for Anindya Bose sir giving me an opportunity to be a part of this program. And as I have been interacting with him for more than like a year, and we have been discussing the various possibilities in GNSS, as we are also working on GNSS receivers, antennas, and other products. And today I'm going to talk about more into the sensors and Internet of Things, as this is an upcoming trend in the Indian market. So this is going to be today's agenda. Like we are going to talk about the sensors, the IoT, the different types of commonly used sensors in the industry, and the industry trends, both in case of sensors as well as for IoT, and the key growth market, the major market segments, what we have in front of us, both for sensors as well as for IoT, and the power of IoT in the sensor technology, industry challenge what we are facing today, which if we overcome those challenges, it's a big opportunity for all of us in this world. So what is the sensor? Like, as everybody know, like the sensor is a small device which measures the physical property or records or indicates, otherwise responds to the change in the environment. So we have wide varieties of sensors, which we are going to talk about in the later slides. And the IoT, as the word says, the Internet of Things. This is a buzzword which is started around us from the year 2007, even though it is there for quite long time with us. So Internet of Things is a network of physical objects or things or embedded electronics, and sensors is the main part of the Internet of Things, which is connected together to exchange data and store this data at the central server for further analytics. And so now we are going to talk about what are the important factor when we choose a sensor. The name, the sensor, the first thing what is very important for us while choosing a sensor is the accurate. So we have to have an accurate data from the field. So it is very important to choose the sensors which are much accurate. And the reliability is the another major factor which plays important while choosing a sensors. And the low power consumption, as you know, in today's world, most of the field devices in IoT are battery operated. So choosing the sensor which is having a less power consumption is more important. And again, the last not but the least, the affordability. We have to make sure we are going to choose a sensor which is going to be an affordable for that particular application. Then let us move on to the next topic, the major components of an IoT. So there are 5 major components in Internet of Things. One is the end devices or the sensor, and the gateway, which will act as a data concentrator. So if you have many devices in the field which start sending data to the cloud, it becomes very difficult to handle at the cloud. So we have to have a data concentrator which will collect data from like a bunch of sensors and do a first level of like analysis or the data collection and send that bunch of data at a set interval time to the cloud for further analytics. Then the user interface is another major factor which plays an important role in IoT, as we have the user interface has to be very simple and it should be readable for the end user. These are the different types of sensors which we could see, and the percentage of those sensors used in wide varieties of application. So in today, the temperature, humidity, pressure, so these are the three major parameters which we are going to measure in many of the applications. Apart from that, we have quite a bunch of sensors like light sensing, proximity, accelerometer, IR, ultrasound, color sorting, and the flow and level sensors. So what is the industry trend? According to the market survey, so there are the sensor market size is over 200 billion in 2019, and which is going to grow at a rate of 7%, and we can expect a growth of around up to 3 billion units in 2026. According to another market research, the overall sensor market is going to be about 241 billion by 2021. Then the industry trends, what we have, the growing demand of sensors in various verticals oil and gas, manufacturing, energy and power, healthcare is another major important segment, where we have lot of the sensor requirement and IoT implementation, and the demand is growing day by day. And as I told you before, temperature and pressure sensors is going to contribute about 22% of the overall the sensor market, sensor size by 2026. So what are the three trends what we could see in the in the sensor market today is the first trend is miniaturization. As we could see in the early days, sensors were very big and we had a lot of limitation using in many of the applications. For example, in 2005 when we started using GNSS receiver, they were about 30 by 30 mm, so which was quite difficult to accommodate in many applications. And today the GNSS receivers are available by 4 mm by 4 mm, which is a very small tiny receivers, which much more accurate than the earlier receivers. And these tiny GNSS modules come along with additional the sensors like gyro, accelerometer, everything built into it for a wide varieties of applications. And even the power consumption is also is reduced when compared to the earlier days. And this miniaturization which will enable us to use these sensors in wide variety of applications, the wearable devices, where size is a limitation. So this is one the advantage over for the miniaturization. Then the second the advantage, the second thing is the digitization. Lot of digital technologies that were developed for the consumer industry are now being adopted for the production and operation in the many industries. So this is going to make our life simpler as the digitalization. And the third main trend in the sensor network is the sensor fusion. The sensor fusion, where we are going to have use many sensors to collect data from the field, which will give us a much more accurate data than receiving data from a single sensor. So this is going to be another major trend in the sensor market. So the key growth market for the different sensors. The IoT sensor market segment by the type of sensors like what we are using, like pressure, temperature, chemical, motion, and proximity sensors. These are the major the sensors like what we are going to be used. And the another important trend for the contribution in the key growth market is the Industrial 4.0 initiative in various regions like Europe, India, and even in other like Asian countries. And beside this, the smart city initiative is another key growth market for these sensors as well as for IoT. So these are the major industries where we could see the lot of implementation of sensors and the IoT in today's scenario. The energy and power, the utilities are going to have a large amount of IoT implementation in upcoming years. Automotive, again, the lot of requirement both for sensors as well as for IoT. Agriculture is an addition, is another field where we could see a lot of sensors are being used, which is going to help our farmers to increase their yield. Medical and pharma is another bigger market. Then manufacturing and process industry. It also requires a lot of sensors and IoT implementation. And we have other markets like oceanography, underwater applications, unmanned vehicles, maybe the aerial vehicles or the underwater vehicles. And the nuclear is another a biggest market, both for the sensors as well as for IoT. So let us talk about some of the sectors where we are could see the demand for these sensors and the IoT implementation. So according to MD from the Energy Efficiency Services, India is losing over 100,000 crores unbilled electricity. So this is because whatever the electricity we have supplied, it is not being monitored properly, and we don't have the field data for unauthorized use of this electricity, which is contributing to this huge loss for us. We have over 250 crores meters which are getting converted into AMR in next 5 years. So this is going to happen with the help of the sensors and the IoT implementations. So a lot of the conventional meters are getting converted into AMRs with the help of the small sensors like the reed switch, Hall effect sensors, and the CCDs to measure or to capture data from these conventional old meters and put it onto the cloud by using the different IoT platforms. And today, especially on the meter industry, we could see the IoT platforms like Zigbee is being widely used, and the short range radios at 865 and 867 megahertz, which is a licensed free band in India. So that is also widely been used. And apart from that, a lot of industries are working on the upcoming technologies like LoRa, NB IoT, which is been at the initial stage of implementation, and LTE and Sigfox are also catching up with the market. Then even the smart street lighting is also another the bigger market. So in future, the street lights are going to look like this, which will have a lot of intelligence built into it. It is not just a street light. it will have a lot of other sensors and IoT components, for surveillance, there will be a cameras, air quality sensors, and it is going to have some of the sensors to monitor the traffic congestions, or to get the information about the traffic. And there would be a digital signage. It might be for to display some alert messages or for advertising. And it is going to also have the EV chargers, which is an upcoming the market. Then automotive is another segment, like where a lot of sensors is being used, mainly for engine management and safety systems and vehicle dynamics control. So over here, we could also see, apart from that, the GPS is used for the positioning data, and radars are used for anti-collision. So IRs are used for smart parking, and even cameras, and even a simple Bluetooth enabled pressure sensors can save a lot of money for the end consumers as well. So according to the new report, the automotive sensor market is going to be about 36 billion by 2023. And it is also growing at a rate of around 6.7%. So these are some of the additional sensors which are being used as a retrofit solution for the existing automobiles, like the speed limiters are used, which is going to have a lot of advantages, especially for the commercial vehicles. And even the fuel level sensors are being used as a retrofit solution for most of the aftermarket vehicles, which is going to give us an accurate fuel level data for the vehicle owners. They can constantly monitor the fuel levels, and these sensors, with the help of the GNSS, we can find out what is the fuel consumption, and we can even detect what is the pilferage if anything is going to happen. And we could also see the load cells is being implemented in many of the commercial vehicles, just to sense what is the amount of the load being carried out on these commercial vehicles. If the vehicle is carrying more than the specified loads, so we can generate alert, and this could help both for the vehicle owner and even for the government to make sure we'll have a better roads in the coming days. And even the driver alerts sensors are being widely used as a retrofit solution in most of the vehicles. And anti-collision avoidance sensors, pressure sensors, and even temperature sensor in case of the cold storage vehicles are widely used in the automotive industry. Then even in the agricultural sector, we have been seeing the lot of sensor implementation. Agriculture is a great business, but if we have to we have to make sure we are going to have the maximum yield out of it. The conventional way of agriculturing was leading to a lot of losses for our farmers, because most of the farmers were depending on the rain, or the way they were feeding the water or the fertilizer to the crops, were the conventional method. Because of that, they are going to incur a lot of losses. Now a lot of sensors is being implemented in the agriculture, like soil moisture, soil temperature, pH level. So depending on the inputs from this the field sensors, we can make sure we are going to feed the required amount of water or the other nutrients to these plants, so that we can get a maximum yield out of it. Then dairy farming is another market, where we could see the lot of sensors and IoT implementation is going on. So during COVID, I could see many of my friends in the industry started dairy farming, who are into these sensors and IoT. So now they taking their experience and putting it over there, so that they will have more profitability in even agriculture as well. Then hydroponics is another upcoming market, where we are growing the crop without the soil by making use of the water. So again, it needs a lot of sensor implementations, so that we can constantly monitor the different nutrients, then the temperature and other parameters, which will give us a good amount of yield. And today, we are seeing a lot of rooftop hydroponics are also available, and many of them are very much interested to adopt this, and to grow the food for their needs on their rooftops. And medical and pharma is another the biggest market, where different types of sensors are being used, thermal pulse oximeter, ECG, blood pressure, glucometer. And again, during COVID, we could see a lot of people started adopting these sensors and even IoT, where we are consulting doctor from home, during this pandemic period. And in the future, we could also see a lot of sensors is being developed, which we can swallow, and that would be monitoring the various parameters in our body, and it is going to update to the cloud and to the doctor over the IoT network. Then the power of IoT in the sensor industry, the sensors that collects data without the regular monitoring is of no use. So IoT plays a very vital role in case of sensor implementation, as IoT enables the regular monitoring, and it can even generate the alert to the end user based on the set thresholds, which is very important. And also IoT enables the data collection at one center location, so that we can use that huge data for further analysis and the prediction. For example, in case of the weather station, the IMD is having the data for over 10 years. With the help of that, they can predict the weather for the upcoming days. And IoT also saves a lot of time as well as money. So IoT, in case of IoT implementation, we have the lot of challenges in front of us. So one is the compatibility and interoperability, because the different manufacturers are following the different technologies. For example, so when we are implementing the AMR, automated meter reading, the different states are using different wireless technologies. So for example, Zigbee is being used in the initial days, and later people started shifting to sub-gigahertz modules at 867 and 865 to 867 megahertz. And nowadays, people are moving on to the different technologies BLE, then NB-IoT. So this is a challenge, where the interoperability becomes a question. And another the challenge what we could see in the IoT implementation is the identification and authentication of these end devices. So according to the report, there are about 20 billion connected devices are present, and this involves a lot of security risk. So this is authentication and identification is a bigger challenge which we have to overcome. Then integration of the IoT products to the IoT platform is another challenge in front of us. For successful implementation of IoT application at the enterprise needs an integrated various IoT connected products. If you don't have a proper IoT platform, this leads to a lot of abnormalities and efficiency of the sensor networks or an IoT implementation. And connectivity is another the biggest challenge in front of us. As we could see, the lot of industries logistics, oil and gas companies are engaged in remote operations and requires a robust communication network to collect data from this tough environment. So the connectivity, the last mile connectivity is another biggest challenge in IoT implementation. The customer awareness is another biggest challenge because we have a lot of examples in front of us. So when we started implementing this vehicle tracking system in the year 2010, we had seen the lot of the drivers in the commercial vehicles are not happy with this vehicle tracking device because the vehicle owner will be monitoring them most of the times. And we have also seen some intelligent drivers are using these FM transmitters and tune them to 87.5 megahertz, which is the 10th harmonic of the GNSS, GPS, which was affecting the GPS reception. So customer awareness is another the challenge which we have to address for the proper IoT implementation. And the opportunities in the IoT field. So as I told you before, the utilities are in front, as we have a lot of initiative from Government of India to convert this conventional meters into the automated meters. So which is a big opportunity. And also the smart city project, which is in India, there are more than 100 smart city initiative is being planned, and this needs a lot of sensors and IoT, which plays a major role for not only for machine to machine connectivity, but also for machine to human the connectivity. And this. So we could also see the major the segments and the percentage of the need. The manufacturing utility has the major the requirement with the 25%. Manufacturing is around 18%. The rest of the industry contributes. And in V3 Novus, we have been working from last 10 years, developing various solutions for the IoT. We have the Sandrak, which is a data concentrator unit, which can be used for wide varieties of application automated meter reading or street light monitoring or even any other IoT platforms. So this can collect data from the end node and send this data to the cloud over different platforms. It might be an NB IoT, or it might be a 4G to collect data from these nodes and to get it to the cloud. And we also have this RS485 to Ethernet, which is our one of our first product. We have been selling this in the market, which is again it can collect data over 485 from the different sensors and transfer to the cloud over Ethernet. And we have implemented over 7,500 automatic weather stations in Karnataka. So this also we have as our product, and we have been working in GNSS, not only on GPS, but also the module which supports all the frequencies, including IRNSS, L5, as well as S-band capabilities. So this we are supplying majorly for the military market, and we also have a lot of other products in this IoT segment. And these are some of our customers to whom we have been supplying our devices. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your nice presentation. And your talk is very much informative in the application field. So I would request of the participants, if they have any queries direct to the V3 Novos, they can contact through their QAN box. And sir, one person has asked a query. Jeet Banerjee, kindly
Okay.
provide your email ID.
Yeah, I will share it over the chat box.
Okay, sir. Okay. Other than no other question have, sir. So thank you very much, sir, for your nice presentation, sir.
Hemant, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hemant, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, there is a problem. The problem is that somehow my browser got hung. So I'm not taking the chance of resetting it if the meeting closes. So now Joydeep is showing me the screen and over video call, and I can see the screen. So thank you very much, Hemant, for your nice speech. But unfortunately, I missed it. I could only have the video, or only the audio. I could not have the video. Already you have shared your video, and if the participants have any question, they can ask once again, or they can direct it to me. I will direct it to Hemant. And thanks for giving us the flavor of what actually in the industry, what are the needs, and what are the challenges as a country and as a community, what the specialization community, what are the areas where we should work. That is very important, and thanks for giving us the flavor. Thank you very much for giving us the... if there is any question, if there is any question...
Sir, right now we have two questions, sir. Hemant, sir, can you see those questions, sir? Hello?
Yeah. Yes.
Sir, there is two questions. Sir, can you explore about inertial sensor used in IoT in India?
Yes, actually, we have been working on this. One question was have your company made this indigenously? Yes.
Yes.
Whatever the products we have showcased and is being done indigenously, and under Make in India program, we have been developing various products, not only for the IoT industry, but also for the medical, railways, and even for military market. And yes, inertial sensors, yes, we are working with Bharat Electronics, where we are developing some of these sensors.
Okay, sir. Okay. And sir, another question is there, Vasudha, madam. She asked how to do soil health properties detection, like based on IoT, sir.
Soil, there are the sensors available to measure the soil moisture and soil temperature. So this we can have an IoT device which will be collecting data from these sensors, might be over I2C or an SPI or an UART communication. And this the node can collect this data and transfer to the cloud over the different wireless network. It might be a Zigbee or a 2G or 3G the platform.
Okay, sir. And sir, one question is from Dr. Kaushik Mathur. He asked how you have made 5 gigahertz transmitter and receiver.
5 gigahertz transmitters, no, we don't have at this point of time.
Okay. Sir, one again, Kaushik Mathur sir has question: which patents your company have?
Unfortunately, we don't have any patents. We are we are not inventing anything as such. Most of them, we are providing solution around the available the sensors. We have not developed any sensors as of now. So we have been using the standard sensors available in the market, and providing the solution to the industry.
Okay, sir. One question is from Subhodip Ghodui. Does the product also provide MQTT protocol?
Yes. Yes, we have many of our the IoT devices, both the end nodes and the gateways, where MQTT is being implemented.
Okay, Somnath, if there is no more question, once again, we thank Hemant, and we
Yes,
look forward to what we are working together. And I think in the coming future, we will be able to solve many of the problems on which we are working. Thank you very much once again. Somnath, will you please make the recording of? Okay. So thank you.